What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTB Ravens Media, bringing you Ravens content every single day. If you want to see that daily Ravens content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below and hit the notification bell if you want to get notified for every single time I upload a brand new video. Now, obviously, it's kind of the off season. It's the 1 month period between, mini camp and training camp. So there's a ton of news. So of course everybody's trying to work on getting their content, and ESPN did I believe they're going through the entire NFL roster. Unfortunately, the articles are all on like ESPN Plus, which I unsubscribed to because of the garbage that I read today. Is just constantly happening on ESPN Plus. But I saw that they put out a top 10 list of quarterbacks based on polling different people. I think they talked with executives. Then they did their own film analysis headed by some guy that, whatever. And I just had to figure out what the list was so I could see, like, is this reasonable? And of course, it was completely unreasonable. Now, everything I say in this video, obviously, is my opinion. If you disagree, absolutely let me know. But I doubt any Ravens fans are going to be disagreeing with what I'm saying in this video. If you like these types of videos, the videos where I talk about other people's takes and things like that, let me know. I can absolutely do it more. I love to do it. I love criticizing, people that are, wrong. But here we go. And shout out to Undrafted Sports, people in the network had, ESPN Plus, because I don't have it anymore. And number one, Mahomes, no problems there. 2, Rodgers, no problems there. 3, Brady. Personally, I don't think Brady should be that high. However, I completely get it. Won the Super Bowl, greatest quarterback of all time, most likely. Whatever. That's fine. Russell Wilson is 4. That's fine. Josh Allen is 5. Josh Allen in front of Lamar Jackson. I disagree with Josh Allen in front of Lamar Jackson. However, I'm not. I can see the argument that can be made. So I'm not even like the amount of ridiculous things that are in this list. Josh Allen is not on my priority list. And I will mention Deshaun Watson isn't included in this list. So not only is Lamar not top 5, he's not top 5 with Deshaun Watson even in the mix. Number 6, Matthew Stafford. Okay? I'm not done yet. Number 7, DAK Prescott. Then number 8, we have Lamar Jackson. I'm a fan of Matthew Stafford and DAK Prescott. You guys can't see right there. That's a Tony Romo jersey right there. I've got somewhere in this row over there. To my left, I've got a Marion Barber jersey. I like the Cowboys. I'm not a Cowboys fan, but I like the Cowboys. I like DAK Prescott. But why? Why? There is no reason that you could put DAK Prescott over Lamar Jackson, other than if you look at total yardages. It's the only way that you could look at it and say, and realistically look at DAK Prescott and say, you know what? He's better than Lamar, is because he passes for more total yards. Who wins more? Lamar. Who rushes for more yards? Lamar. Who's better at passing for touchdowns? Lamar. Who's won an MVP? Lamar. Who's won, had consistent playoff consistency? Lamar. Who plays in the worst division in football? By far, DAK Prescott. And then you look at all those little things where it's like, oh, yeah. And then you add in the fact that DAK Prescott's coming off of a season-ending injury, and we don't even know how good he's going to be next year. I get he was good. He was good at the beginning of the season before he got hurt. The Cowboys were terrible. They couldn't win any games, but DAK Prescott was thrown for a lot of yards. He was on pace for I remember doing the math. He was on pace for 6,700 yards through whatever the first 4 weeks that he played were. I'm pretty sure he only won one of those games, that being the crazy comeback against Atlanta. But he was in shootouts. He got to go against Seattle defense. He got to go against the Falcons defense. He was playing against bad defenses. And like I said, I like DAK. But look at the receiving weapons DAK has. Not only does he have just Ezekiel Elliott, who can catch out of the backfield, a very underrated pass catcher. He's not amazing. He's not Christian McCaffrey or Alvin Kamara, but he's good. You have Zeke, so that not only helps in the passing game, but it also helps in the play action game, allowing yourself to create the opportunities for the playmakers. Okay, so now let's look at the wide receivers. Amari Cooper. I think he's a pretty good wide receiver. I don't think he's top 10 anymore, but he's probably in that 15 to 20 range. Then you got CeeDee Lamb, who you drafted, who, in my opinion, was the best wide receiver in that draft class. Justin Jefferson had the best season. I still really like CeeDee Lamb as the guy with the highest potential, but Justin Jefferson, as of right now, is better in my personal opinion, before people come after me for saying that. CeeDee Lamb, very, very good player. Michael Gallup, very underrated wide receiver, definitely a top 30 wide receiver in the NFL. You look at the offensive line, it's a decent offensive line. It's not the offensive line it was 4 or 5 years ago, but it's still okay. And you're going to tell me that those passing weapons aren't going to allow him to be better than in terms of yardage than Lamar. Lamar Jackson is going to go out there and he may not throw for 400 yards. He may never throw for 400 yards, but that doesn't mean he's not an incredible quarterback. Lamar Jackson does it through efficiency. He does it through winning. I don't understand. If somebody in the comment section could give me a reason, a singular reason, what does Dak do better than Lamar? And he has to do it so much better than Lamar, like, because it's only like one thing. Maybe you could say he's more accurate. I don't think Dak has a stronger arm. He might. I don't think he does, but you could say he's more accurate. And I'd be like, okay, there's a case to be made for that. But then you compare the other things. Who's more efficient? By far Lamar. Who is more dynamic? By far Lamar. Who gets out of the pocket better? By far Lamar. Who avoids sacks better? By far Lamar. Like, Lamar is so much better than Dak in countless areas, and Dak is better than Lamar in one area. It's not like we're talking about prime Drew Brees and when we talk about Dak's accuracy. And I like Dak. I do. I like Dak. I think you can make a case for him as a top 10 quarterback. I'd probably put him at 10 or 10 to 11. Like, I think it's reasonable to have him top 10, but to have him in front of Lamar is absolutely ridiculous. I don't understand it. The only thing that you could say about Dak is that he's slightly more accurate than Lamar, but Lamar's had more success. Lamar's had significantly less help on the offensive side of the ball. And Lamar's not coming off of a massive injury. I literally do not understand the explanations, the reasonings, all that type of stuff. So Lamar's at 8. Behind him, I think, is Justin Herbert at 9, which I'm not ready to put. I like Justin Herbert. I got a Justin Herbert jersey. I'm not ready to put him at 9. But now let's go to Matthew Stafford, okay? I like Matthew Stafford. I've talked about Matthew Stafford before, and I have said I am very high on Matthew Stafford. I believe I had him at number 8 the last time I did my quarterback rankings list, and I talked about it in the preview I did for when it was announced that the Rams are going to be playing the Ravens. I was like, I love Matthew Stafford. I think he's a great quarterback. I think he's a clear top 10 quarterback. But 6? Number 6? And you may be like, I don't know. I doubt any Ravens fans watching this are like, oh, Matthew Stafford is way better than Lamar. I don't know of anybody that's willing to say that except for ESPN. Because if you want to look at it and you want to say Matthew Stafford has more arm talent, I'll give it to you. Yes. Matthew Stafford has one of the most talented arms the NFL has ever seen. Like, he is in that top 10 discussion. Okay. And this is what scouts have said. John Middlecoff has said that Matthew Stafford probably has the, most talented arm in the NFL and strongest arm. Like, he has a cannon of an arm. Just because you have an arm doesn't make you a top 6 quarterback. Like I get he was playing in Detroit. I completely understand that. I empathize with him. Like, I've said before that I think that he's completely underrated, but 6 is absolutely ridiculous. And you want to look at what Lamar's done. It's not like Lamar has had some crazy wide receiver core in his career. Lamar took a bad team with Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco was not a bad quarterback. He was a meh quarterback, okay? Joe Flacco's taking this team, and they were what? 4-7, I want to say, when Lamar took over. I may be slightly off on that. Maybe they were 4-6. I can't remember. And Lamar only lost one game and took that team to the playoffs. Who were his wide receivers? Michael Crabtree and John Smokey Brown. And he had 2 rookie tight ends in Hayden Hurst, and he had Mark Andrews, obviously. And his running backs you can look at and be like, oh, well, this undrafted guy named Gus Edwards. That was the team. This was before Marcus Peters. This was before Calais. This was not a very good football team. Like, this was Brandon Carr in the secondary, and I like Brandon Carr. But, like, come on. It's Brandon Carr. He led that team to the playoffs. Did he have a horrible playoff game? Yeah, he did. But he got him to the playoffs with a bad team. And they had to go against some tough competition. They had to play the Chargers before they played the Chargers in the playoffs. And that was the reason why the Chargers didn't win their division, was because the Ravens beat them. The Chargers were one of the best teams in the NFL that season. Lamar Jackson went out in primetime and beat them. Okay? He had to win some difficult games as a rookie. Then obviously he got Hollywood Brown. And people, non-Ravens fans would look at Hollywood Brown and be like, oh yeah, whatever. It's Hollywood Brown. Ravens fans, I think we like Hollywood Brown. Or I like Hollywood Brown. I think he's decent. But, like, Hollywood Brown's been his number one wide receiver with Miles Boykin as his 2 or Willie Snead as his 2 for the last 2 years. Like, yeah, the offensive line is okay. But, like, Lamar Jackson makes that entire offense. We see what happens when RG3 tries to play, when Trace McSorley tries to play. I like him. Good backups. But, like, the offense just doesn't work very well. They're able to still win some games, kind of, or, like, be in some games. That Pittsburgh game with RG3 starting. It was like, it was close. But it was so dumbed down. That was not the Ravens football that you see with Lamar. When Trace McSorley came in, when Lamar was either going to the bathroom or getting IVs, we don't know. That offense was bad. It was completely based on Hollywood Brown making a great catch, getting the first down and allowing them to extend the drive to allow Lamar to come back and win that game. But overall, Matthew Stafford, yes, he has the better arm. But did you guys know that he has the same amount of playoff wins as Lamar Jackson? The same amount. 1. He's played a lot longer than Lamar. And I'm not somebody who's going to take away, from Matthew Stafford because he hasn't won. I'm not somebody like that. He has had a bad draw of the hand. However, being better than Lamar for that, like, I can see Matthew Stafford being a top 7 quarterback, top 8 quarterback. You see, when I did my list, though, I did include Deshaun Watson. That's what's ridiculous, is that Deshaun Watson is in this list because they said that the initial voting structure did include Deshaun Watson. However, they took him out of the final kind of ballots or whatever. When they did all the averaging and things like that, they took him out. I would assume that executives hate Lamar. That they picked Deshaun Watson ahead of Lamar, making Lamar would have been the 9th quarterback. The 9th. Lamar Jackson, in my opinion, should absolutely be a top 5 quarterback. However, I can see the argument for Brady being in front of him. I can see the argument for Josh Allen being in front of him. I can kind of see the argument for Deshaun Watson. I would completely disagree with the argument, but there's kind of an argument that you could say. But Matthew Stafford, Dak Prescott, no, they should not be in front of Lamar Jackson. I don't see the reasoning other than saying that Matthew Stafford is more arm talent than Lamar Jackson, which is true. But then you look at everything else Lamar does, and Lamar's better. Clearly better. I don't know why. I don't know how this happened. This is why I unsubscribed from ESPN Plus, was because I was like, what is this? What is this list? I think that's the end of the rant. Thank you everybody for watching. Subscribe for daily Ravens content. If you like these types of videos where I talk about how ridiculous, some of these non-Ravens fans' takes are, let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know with the like button, and I will definitely do more. I do really enjoy getting my opinion out there on other people's opinions. And obviously, this is my opinion. Everything I say is not factual. So if you think that I can never be wrong, that's incorrect. I can be wrong. I don't think I'm wrong, but I can be. But this is my opinion. I think that list is absolutely atrocious. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Subscribe for daily Ravens content, and I will see all of you again tomorrow.